the most powerful telescope ever built, stared at a distant world, searching for the air around it, and it found nothing. A flat, empty line, no signal at all. At first, that sounds like failure, a wasted look at an empty rock. But the scientists who read that flat line went quiet for a different reason. Because nothing on this particular world does not mean nothing is there. It means one of two things is true, and both of them are unsettling for us. By the end of this, you will understand why a blank result from the James Webb Space Telescope may be one of the most important non-discoveries in the history of astronomy, and why this small, silent world sits at a crossroads between two very different kinds of death. 41 light-years from here, in a patch of southern sky, there is a planet almost exactly the size of the Earth. Not close, not roughly, 99% of Earth's diameter. If you set them side by side, you would struggle to tell them apart by size alone. It is rocky, it is solid. It is, by the numbers, one of the most Earth-like worlds we have ever confirmed. Its name is LHS475b. And for years, it was only a suspicion, a faint repeating dip in the light of its star, caught by a NASA satellite scanning for exactly that flicker, the tiny shadow a planet casts when it crosses in front of its sun. A flicker is not proof. To be sure the world was real, they needed the most sensitive eye humanity has ever made. So they turned Webb toward it, and Webb settled the question in a single, clean measurement. The planet is there, real, rocky, and almost the size of home. But confirming it existed was never the point. Webb was not really looking at the planet. It was looking for something wrapped around it. It was looking for an atmosphere. Here is why that mattered so much. Finding planets is no longer difficult. We have found thousands. But knowing what a planet is actually like, whether it has air, what that air is made of, whether anything could breathe it, that is a different problem entirely. And until very recently, for a world this small, it was impossible. The method is strange and beautiful. When the planet passes in front of its star, starlight streams past its edges. If there is an atmosphere, the gases in it swallow specific colors of that light on the way through. Each gas takes its own color. Water takes one, methane takes another, carbon dioxide takes another still. So Webb catches the light after it has passed the planet and spreads it out like a rainbow. Then it looks for the missing stripes, the gaps are the fingerprints. The gaps tell you what the air is made of. Webb looked and there were no gaps, a flat line, featureless, smooth, nothing taken out of the light at all. Now that immediately rules things out, and this is where it gets interesting. The world cannot have a thick, puffy blanket of hydrogen, the kind that swaddles the smaller gas planets. That would have been obvious, unmissable. It cannot have a heavy shroud of methane either, the kind that hangs over Saturn's moon Titan. Webb would have seen it instantly. Those atmospheres are gone from the list. But something is still wrong, because a flat line does not prove there is no air. It only proves there is no air that Webb can easily see. And that leaves exactly two possibilities. The first possibility is the simplest and the bleakest. There is nothing there, no air, not a trace, absolutely nothing. Consider where this world lives. It circles its star once every 2 days. 2. A year on LHS 475b is shorter than a weekend. It orbits closer to its star than any planet in our solar system orbits the Sun, so close that its surface is likely hundreds of degrees hotter than the hottest desert on Earth. And it is almost certainly locked in place, one face turned forever toward the star in permanent blinding day, the other turned forever away into a night that has never once ended. A world like that, sitting that close, is exposed. For billions of years, the star has poured radiation over it, and the wind of particles streaming off that star has been stripping its air away, molecule by molecule, into space. So perhaps there is simply nothing left, a bare stone, an oversized Mercury scorched clean, turning silently in the light. We just don't know yet. But there is a second possibility, and it is maybe worse. The planet may have an atmosphere after all, one made almost entirely of carbon dioxide. And here is the cruel trick. A pure carbon dioxide atmosphere is so heavy, so dense, that it presses itself down into a thin, compact layer against the surface. It barely reaches up into the starlight at all, which means to a telescope watching from 41 light-years away, a world choking under a crushing blanket of poison looks almost exactly like a world with no air at all. A flat line either way. We have seen this before, of course, much closer to home. Venus is wrapped in exactly this kind of atmosphere, a suffocating weight of carbon dioxide that turned a planet the size of Earth into a furnace hot enough to melt lead. So which is it, an airless corpse or a hidden hothouse? Webb, the finest instrument we have ever built, cannot yet tell the difference. Not yet. And that is the real discovery here, not the planet. The line. Is there life or not? Is there air or not? Because to see that flat line at all, on a rocky world the size of Earth, 41 light-years away, we had to reach the very edge of what our technology can do. No telescope in history could have done it. We have just proved that we can now weigh the air of small rocky worlds or prove they have none. That changes everything that comes next. Somewhere out there is a rocky planet the size of ours, in the gentle band of distance where water can stay liquid, circling a steady star. And when we find it and we point Webb at it, we will already know exactly how to read the light that comes back. We have learned to look for the fingerprints of air. One day, in the gaps in that light, we may find the fingerprints of something breathing. For now, LHS 475b just turns, half of it in endless fire, half of it in endless dark, holding one small stubborn secret, 41 light-years out of reach. If this changed the way you think about an empty result, share it. There are more of these worlds, and we have barely started looking. Subscribe, and we will keep finding them together.